Thank you. Thank you, Morgan. Well, good afternoon, and welcome to the first day of the 88th Texas Legislature. Madam Secretary, the Honorable Jane Nelson, welcome back to the House. The West Wing looks good on you, but it seems like senators will do anything to get on the House floors these days. Thank you for being here to oversee today's proceedings as the first Texan in history to preside over an opening day ceremony in both the House and the Senate. Congratulations, Madam Secretary. And to Cody, Angie, Tracy, Shelby, John, and Tony, thank you. I hope to live up to your words of support, and I cannot do this job without friends like you at my side. After completing a regular session that was anything but regular, 3 special sessions, and traveling 30,000 miles this interim, I would like to start this address the way I like to start every day, which is thanking my wife, Kim, for still being my wife. In addition to being an amazing wife, she's a loving mother to our 4 boys, an accomplished attorney, an advocate for juvenile justice reform, a leader on mental health awareness and education. I could go on for days, but what I cannot do is this job without your constant support. Thank you. Who's texting me right now? Please stop. Really? I'd also like to thank my 4 sons, Ford, Mac, Hank, and Luke. Thank you, boys. I want to thank you for teaching me how to referee a conversation between people who care a lot about an issue. We don't have points of order back home, but a good knockdown, dragged out fight over the Xbox is pretty good training for being a speaker. And Luke and Hank had one 2 hours ago. Thank you for being the best kids a dad could ask for. And just like your mom, I cannot do this without your blessings, so thank you. My parents, Mike and Janie, my 6 brothers and sisters, thank you for your love and support over the years. Growing up, if I had a giant gavel like I do now, I would be an only child today. There were also the ones with the really big foreheads too, so sorry. I get criticized for my forehead, but I inherited it from my family. As I look out upon this distinguished gathering, I see 149 people, ordinary Texans, who are eager to get to work on extraordinary things. I am grateful for the majority of you who have honored me with your vote, but I am proud to represent all of you as Speaker of the 88th Legislature. I also see your beautiful families, friends, and supporters. Let us not forget the sacrifices they have made to get you where you are today. Texas appreciates you. Members, let's give them a round of applause. For the newcomers here, our freshman class of 2023, congratulations. Words of caution. Please do not confuse this body with the one in Washington, D.C. After watching Congress attempt to function last week, I cannot imagine why some want Texas to be like D.C. New members, you now are in the Texas House of Representatives, part of a historic assembly. 100 years after the first woman was elected to the Texas House, our membership now includes 45 women, the highest number ever. And all of us represent 150 unique populations from the cities, the suburbs, and the countryside. 194,000 strong in each district. And while our districts are certainly unique, they have one thing in common. They have trusted us to be their voice. And that is what we will do for the next 140 days. One day at a time, one issue at a time, one bill at a time. All that work will be rooted in one of the most fundamental, necessary elements of this institution, the Texas House rules. As the most deliberative body in this nation, our rules matter. And my advice to new members is to know them, love them, and be certain we will enforce them. Because our rules keep the game fair, but they do not dictate the outcome. We will have divisions, every session does, but that division does not have to define us. Let the political fires that have raged compel us to come to the table for a solution, not flee from our responsibilities. There will be countless outside voices, not from your district, not from this state, that seek to control our conversation, and they will be plenty loud. But the conversations that matter to us, the conversations that matter to our constituents, happen in here. They happen in this room, in the Texas House. We do our work together here. And when we do that, we might just be surprised to find out how much we have in common. We can find our first patch of common ground in the most fundamental element of society, the family. If we are going to be a family-focused house, and I do hope we will be, we must take a long look at what matters to Texas families. Fortunately, everyone here has spent the better part of a year on the campaign trail, hearing directly from our constituents. And like you, I've heard some very straightforward concerns from the families in my district. I've heard about the economy, inflation, difficulty in making ends meet, ever-increasing property taxes that have led many to feel year in and year out they are renting their property from the government. Like them, I believe tax relief should be a priority. But time and time again, we have seen the legislature provide some form of property tax relief. But to make it lasting, we must do something about runaway appraisals because taxpayers deserve better. My constituents also talked about the need for quality health care at a reasonable price for families and businesses. They appreciate the process we made last session, tackling the cost of prescription drugs and health plans, pricing transparency, improving outcomes for women and children, but they need us to do much more. So we're going to continue the momentum by giving patients greater control over their health care as well as better access. In my travels, I also heard about Texas' desire for safe streets. During the 87th, we reset the national conversation on criminal justice. We showed it's possible to improve public safety while defending the rights of the accused and offering second chances when deserved. We led the nation in decreasing incarceration rates, reducing recidivism, and facilitating reentry. We have proven you can be tough on violent criminals while also making the criminal justice system work better for non-violent offenders. And that is what we will continue to do. But members, we can work all day on these issues, But if rogue district attorneys will not uphold the law, what progress are we really making? It is time to rein them in. Our constituents also want roads that can move them in a timely manner, from their home to their job, to their child's school, to their place of worship. Texans want a reliable supply of water, resiliency from flooding, dependable energy, and high-speed internet across this great state. They want exceptional schools with exceptional teachers. With a once-in-a-lifetime budget surplus, now is the time to put a down payment on the future of Texas. To make this down payment even more critical, over 1,000 people move to Texas every single day. They do not bring these investments with them, members. We all serve different regions, but we recognize these as common obligations. But members, perhaps we have no greater task ahead of us than protecting those who will carry on what we have started, the children of Texas. I created the Select Committee on Youth, Health, and Safety last session to examine the issues facing our children. The threats to their safety are all too real. Child trafficking, violence in schools, bad actors seeking to exploit their innocence, and social media companies that prey on the insecurities of children, leaving them vulnerable to exploitation, sexualization, and indoctrination. Members, we must stand up for the children of Texas. Teachers and parents alike want safer schools, and our kids deserve them. Last May, the lives of 21 Texans, teachers and children, were stolen when a gunman opened fire at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. We owe it to the memory of those children and teachers to make sensible, meaningful change. I want to thank the families of Uvalde for inviting me to meet with them just last week. Having heard from them directly and taking into account the findings of our investigative committee, we have insights to inform our decision. This is going to be an especially tough conversation, but this body has proven capable of handling conversations like this in the past. I am confident we will do so again. As we work to make Texas a better place to raise a family, we must also acknowledge there is true suffering in society. And we have to make those things better, those families, in those toughest situations. The most important thing to do, certainly, is to ensure our economy continues to generate quality jobs and meaningful wages. After all, an opportunity to provide for one's family is a powerful motivator, no matter where one is in life. At the same time, let us not forget people who need more than a job. Even with a vibrant economy, a single parent who can work, afford childcare, healthcare, transportation, and housing is indeed rare. How can we improve their lives and their children's futures? Tax-free diapers, wipes, and other child care supplies is a great start. And so is ensuring health coverage for new moms that lasts not 60 days, not 60 months, but an entire year. Tony Rose stood up. Starting today, I represent Jasper County. Last week, I read a story about the local county hospital joining the 60% of rural Texas hospitals that no longer deliver babies. Mothers in rural areas now face hour-long drives for basic services. We should not leave this session without a firm commitment to reversing this trend. Because in my dictionary, the definition of pro-life includes ensuring access to affordable health care for all, especially Texas mothers and their babies. And to show the Texas House is committed to the maternal health of our own staff this session, I am proud to announce we are offering additional resources to guarantee 12 full weeks of paid maternal and paternal leave for those working for this chamber this session. Members, our names may be on the door, but the men and women who serve in our Capitol and our district offices are the ones who do the heavy lifting. We must provide an environment that respects them and recognizes their value. With rapid inflation, let's also retain them by finally increasing their salaries. Show Mr. Schaefer voting aye. Making things better for all Texas families is how we deliver on the limitless potential for our state in every area, from gainful employment to public safety. That includes border security, which is certainly on the minds of our members, but especially those who represent border communities. We can all agree that our border towns have been bearing the brunt of Washington's failed immigration policies, some going as far as declaring themselves to be in a state of disaster. It is a legal and humanitarian crisis. Every budget I voted for has poured millions, now billions of dollars into the gap between federal policies and the realities on the ground. As stewards of every budget dollar, we must ensure our strategy not only fits realities on the ground, but is truly measurably effective. We must also acknowledge the additional threats posed by a porous border. More than 1,600 Texans died from fentanyl overdoses in 2021. That is 1,600 too many. Before Texas families get that heartbreaking call, members, we must stop the cartels in their tracks, and we will. Members, though we face many challenges this session, there will be even more opportunities. The work is hard, but it is worthwhile. The work is demanding, but it is noble. The work is necessary, and because we have the privilege of doing it for the people of Texas, I know we will get it done together. It is a privilege to serve as a member of this distinguished body, and I'm once again humbled by the opportunity to be your speaker. Thank you for this enormous honor. Thank you for serving this great state. God bless you all, and God bless Texas.